and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Death of Art. We're at the 31st Outsider Art Fair. I'm here with Cyril Mazard. He has something to say about the cost of admission.
Yes, we're going to find out how expensive it is, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And another thing, I would like to know, what is the difference between outsider art and insider art? Yeah, I'm going to pay cash.
Okay, so then it would be 40 in cash.
It is 40.
You can go in and out until 6 o'clock tonight.
Oh, thank you. That's great. I'm so happy I wasted 40 bucks on art. You can't imagine. Let's rock.
$40 later, we're in. I got a sticker, a cheap pamphlet, and we're all annoyed. Basically, we've walked into a monumental tourist trap. Are we gonna see great stuff? I'm pretty sure we are. Nevertheless, context is everything, and being slightly pissed off at this situation is now the context. So let's go.
So what's outsider about collage? We have collage since Dada. That's 100 years ago. Again, I will ask the question, what is outsider art? And what is insider art?
To answer Cyril's question, it's context. This is like any other collage you would see in any gallery going back the last 100 years, okay? But say if this guy did these collages while he was doing 25 years in prison for murder, then it's outsider art. It's all context. It doesn't really have to make sense.
Does that stand for Outsider Art Fair?
As well.
As well.
It's whatever you want.
Was Picasso an outsider? Outsider artist because he liked doodles, kids' doodles. You know, that's why it was his main inspiration. So, is he an outsider? And an outsider that is in all the museums, sells for millions of dollars, you know, doodle paintings. Who is on the inside? Who's on the outside, I ask you? I don't know if he is or not.
Oscar Asmatia. He grew up in New York, Ridgewood, Queens. Lifelong New Yorker. During the pandemic, he moved to Florida. He's highly imaginative. He uses different media. He loves to repurpose obsolete technologies like vinyl, VHS, 8-track tapes. And his themes go from starting from biblical stories and biblical history throughout human history, with a big focus coming on the 80s and Converge. He's really a time traveler, and everything that every piece he works shifts reality just a little bit. Sometimes a little bit more, but always just a little bit. Changes the names.
So yeah, I like these paintings a lot. But anything about
you might enjoy this. So it's actually a nude figurative of a woman. So these are nipples, and then if you go close, it's people having sex throughout the woman. So go close, it's like doggy style.
Great. So yeah, okay,
I'm
whatever.
not seeing it.
Yeah, no,
So look at these couples. They're within
Oh,
the women,
they're
and
miniatures.
then they're having
Yes.
sex. All the people.
That's beautiful. That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, but besides people having sex in this painting, I like these paintings because it's about nature and they're very well painted, very colorful and happy. And that's what I look for in art. Sex or not, you know, that's what I look for. All right.
Yeah, so this continues the story. So he actually writes his frames all the way around. So you can see that it's a story up there. Yeah, so it's down here too.
This has so many elements of classic outsider art. It tells
Yeah.
a story. That's
Well,
super
yeah, he's
important.
a physicist from trade education.
Fantastic.
So he is the Horndeski theory. It's all about dark energy, black hole, relativity, gravity.
That's beautiful.
He's a professor, lives in Santa Fe, and now, like, if you look at the older work, it's always him and his wife. Unfortunately, his wife passed away, and then he's, like, moved. But legitimately, these are so intense that he doesn't do them anymore just because he's getting older and
Right.
can't do it. Yeah, so we got kind of banned of doing the shooting, but it's all about life. We all have a journey, and it's different, but we all end up at the same place no matter who you are and what you do. All end up.
This is when outsider art works. Here we have a physicist, a teacher, who starts doing art, and he comes from a completely different point of view. He tells his stories, he makes kinetic art, being a physicist that makes sense, and gives us something we would not otherwise have. Brilliant. This really takes the cake for vulgarity, but I have to say, you'd only see this kind of thing at the Outsider Art Fair, so eat it up.
Oh, this is amazing. Yoki Netsuke is a very good artist. I love his art. It's very small, and that's good because, you know, it takes less space, and that's important these days. And it's highly detailed, and it's very creepy, but in a good way, I think. For once, it's like a good use of plastic.
These are all ladies who started cults. The artist, Alexandria Dieters, in 2021, I have her as my screensaver now. This lady died in a plane crash, and she thought that that hair deserved to be embroidered because of how ridiculous it is. And then she found out it was a cult leader. She's like, well, how many women cult leaders are there? And now she's up to 34, and she's working on a few more. But yeah, you can read up on each of them on our website as well. Alexandria Dieters, DETERS.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has entered the world. This is the life and death of Elvis Presley, a sweet 1985 to 1995. Paul LaFollette is a visionary artist. He has worked for many years in Boston, and here he breaks down in a series of 8 paintings Elvis Presley's life, year to year, based on astrology, based on historical events. He has photos of him going through his life. It's intensely complex, and it really draws you in. Like all good art, this does not need explaining. This you just stand in front of and soak it up and enjoy what's in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the world. What you're seeing here is the death of Elvis Presley on the death of art. You saw it here first.
This is Native American ledger art, and maybe they're the real outsiders. Of all the outsiders, they're the ones. So they were always here first. Don't forget them last.
Outsider art was originally identified and collected by a small group of enthusiasts, and to be sure, there is some amazing work here. But overall, this event takes something that was once small and beautiful and shamelessly transforms it into a commodity. Basically, late-stage capitalism doing its thing. From now on, I'll find my outsider art elsewhere. Have a good night, folks. Please like, please subscribe, and please ring the bell.